Good morning, kids. HooDeeHoooo!
Good
It's
morning.
uh it's the first day of 2024. It's also the first Monday of the month, which is awesome because Sam and I we get to meet once a month on the first Monday of the month. We figured that it's a good idea to start every month off with a bang. And what better day to do it than the best day of the week? The best day of the month is Monday. Because in the life of a serial entrepreneur, Monday is actually the best day of the week. Unlike those people that have a job, just over broke, that they're dreading Mondays. They hate Mondays. They live for Friday, and that's not the way it is in the life of a serial entrepreneur. And that's kind of what Sam and I are trying to do here is make a difference. And you know, somebody said something recently that I can't remember who said this, but I loved it. It was a Bruce Lee quote.
Hmm.
It said, um, live a life worth writing about.
Hmm.
Leave a legacy worth writing about. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? Do I want that if you live a life that is worth writing about, you live forever.
True.
Like Bruce Lee, he might have died a long, long time ago, but man, is that guy ever alive in people's
True.
hearts and minds?
True.
And so that's an exciting thing for us to think about. And,
Yeah.
today, maybe, Sam, we can talk about goals, living the seven habits. Yes.
Yeah. Have you
Over.
was it the seven habits of highly effective people? You know. Yeah. Well, Happy New Year, JJ. 2024. Wow, Y2K wasn't that long ago,
Dude.
right? But here we are. Here we are in a new year, another 365 days to become ourselves, to live the life that we have and to find our authenticity, you know. And you mentioned setting some goals. So I want to discuss a little bit about that because that's important, right? That's very important because if we're gonna do a journey, a trip, a life, we're gonna head in a direction. So we have to know where we're going. We have to know what's the win, what's the victory, right? Because it was like, oh, I want to be happy. Well, what's define happy? I want to be rich. Define rich. Is it $20 or $200 or $200,000? Right? Because if you don't have clarity over that, then you could end up on a wild goose chase, basically. You know.
Yeah.
But specifically about goals, JJ, I wrote this down, and this always comes back to me. This is something that I learned in corporate. SMART goals, right? So just
Specific, measurable, achievable. So S.M.A.R.T.
achievable, realistic,
So
and
specific,
timely. Okay. So SMART goals.
measurable,
Yep. Right. So let's
achievable.
let's discuss some of these things and give some good
What was
examples.
number realistic
Yeah. And T is timely.
and timely?
Right. SMART goals. Right. Because people say, well, we need to set some goals. Well, a goal could be, well, I want to be happy.
Right.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal. But is it a SMART goal? Meaning the acronym. Is it
Mm-hmm.
specific? Well, what how do you define happy? Having a puppy makes you happy. Puppies make a lot of people happy. So when you get a puppy, you'll be happy. And then check that goal, being happy is done, right?
Right.
Maybe, if that's your goal is to be happy, that's one way to be happy. To be in a good relationship, that could be another goal, you
Right.
know. But let's say you have a partner, but you never talk to them, you know. That's a relationship, but not necessarily a good relationship.
Right.
And so it has to be specific. And most people that's that's where they fail first, is they're not specific with their goals. I want to be rich. I mean, a lot of people, it's New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024. A lot of people are just waking up now, and um they're thinking about, wow, what a nice day, what a new beginning. Here we go. Well, 365 days ago, it was a new beginning too,
Right.
right? And so you have 365 days to achieve what you want to achieve this year, and you have to set goals that are specific,
Right.
meaning not just what do you call it, like amorphous, or just like this pie in the sky. I want to be happy. I want to be free. What you got to define free.
Right.
Someone gives you a sandwich once a month. That's free. And so is that the freedom you're looking for? You know? And
Good point.
so yeah, so this is stuff that they taught us in corporate America. When I was a pharmaceutical scientist at Amgen, these drug companies, they come out with new drugs, and they literally make billions of dollars a year, right? That doesn't happen by accident. They're not just sitting around like, oh, we should make some money this year. No, they're not sitting there to make some money. Is not a goal.
Right.
We've got to make $100 million on this project, right? It's very specific. And so I think that's the first goal. What do you think about that? That's
I love the concept of it. And it's just like most everything, it's easier said than done. But you really got to search inside yourself to find out what you want. You need to, you know, several years back, when I delved into a real estate investment thing, one of the things they wanted me to do was write my own obituary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, that was one of the hardest things I've ever tried to do,
Mm-hmm.
because back then I really didn't have the specifics of what I really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to, you know, buy and sell some houses, make some money, whatever. But I really had a hard time being specific with my goals. Um, and it really wasn't until I got on board with Kangen Water that I started gaining some of the knowledge. I mean, that's one of the things I love so much about Kangen Water, is that the people that it has surrounded me with, like Sam, seriously, everything good going on in my life right now, all the people that I'm hanging with, all the people that I'm working with, all the people, everything good that is going on in my life right now stems back to the fact that I said yes to getting a Kangen water machine,
Mm-hmm.
taking it seriously. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if that Kangen water machine cost $500, I probably wouldn't have taken it nearly as seriously as with it costing $4,000.
Exactly.
I was like, if I spend this much money on this thing, I'm by God gonna drink the water. I'm gonna use the water. I'm gonna learn everything I can about this water. I'm gonna find out why, to the T, why the heck I'm drinking it, why the heck I'm sharing it with people, why I've littered my truck up with advertisements about it. Um, and the motto of Kangen Water is change your water, change your life, and it ain't no joke.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
you just buy the water machine and you don't do anything with it, you don't use it, you don't learn about it, you don't drink the water, you don't treat it like the incredible business and opportunity and product that it is, then it's not going to change your life. It's not going to do anything for you. You're going to be one of those people who says, "Oh, yeah, I tried that Kangen water. It's just a waste." And so that's kind of the thing as far as specifics are concerned, is I think, you know, delving into something like a $5,000 water ionizer, I think it helps you become a little more specific. And
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, I still haven't come up with my obituary yet,
Mhm.
but I'm getting a lot closer to being able to define exactly what it is I'm trying to do. And it's probably the hardest part of goal setting is being specific, in
Mhm.
my opinion.
But
And so that's what I think about it as far as the specific part
you
of
know,
the.
that is the reason why that is first is that's first because it's the most important. So let's say me and you we go on a road trip, right? Right. Well, the first thing we gotta decide is where are we going,
Right,
right? We just say let's go on a road trip. Okay, well, where, when, how, for how long, right? Those are specific things that need, because if we don't know where we're going, we might not be going anywhere.
right,
We'll just keep talking and talking and going around, beating around the bush type thing. And so this is why being specific with what we want to achieve, having clarity over that first part. What is it that you want in happy? What is it that you want in freedom? Where is it that you want to go? How much money do you want to make? How do you want to make your money? Like um, I saw this movie. The Mummy. There was this Brandon something. I forgot what his name was. Back in the 90s, but there was this series, and he's kind of like a funny guy, called the Mummy. He acted in this movie called The Mummy. But he had this goal of being rich, and so it's kind of like a genie type situation where he gets reborn and he's rich, right? And so he gets reborn as a drug cartel leader, and so he's rich, but he's like, oh no, no, this isn't the kind of rich I wanted, right? I'm gonna have to look up that movie. And so you specifically have to have clarity over what it is that you want and how you get there, how quickly, and that's what these goals are. That's why in corporate, they have us write these things down every annual review. Every November, December, we're sitting there evaluating ourselves, right? And then we're setting goals for next year. That's
right,
how that's how corporate is, right? You don't just be the same person and get paid 10% more or 3% more every year, you know. And the second thing there is M, right? So M stands for measurable. Okay. So a lot of people have I think it's a tough economy out there, and they say, I need to make more money. I need to be financially free. Okay, well, how much money specifically? How much money do you need to make a month to sustain your lifestyle, right?
right,
And most people are, well, would an extra $50 a month change your life? Probably not. Now, would an extra $500 a month change your life? Yeah, that could take care of some things. An extra $1,000 a month would probably change a lot of lives. Extra $2,000. So you have to look at you know how you're going to measure this finance or this freedom, because if you don't have a metric on it, then you're kind of like you're on a road trip with no GPS and no map, right?
right. Just
Uh,
driving into
just
oblivion.
driving, you don't even have a compass. You don't even know what direction you're going. You don't know what time you're leaving. You don't know how much gas to have in the tank. You're just leaving it all up to chance. And this is why a lot of people don't you meet them the following year and they're still in the same spot, right? Because they don't have something specific and something measurable, right? And so I want to give examples because I think most people have heard of SMART goals, S.M.A.R.T, SMART goals, right? But where people fail is they don't they don't have the clear understanding to actually apply it, right? So let's say, JJ, let's do an example, okay? So pick one of the goals, general goals that most people have. Like I want to I want to lose weight. I want to be in better shape, right? Okay, so specifically, I want to be in better shape. Okay, so that's not a very specific goal. But how could it be specific?
Well, I need to do 100 push-ups a day. I need to do 100 sit-ups a day. I need
Yeah,
to
we'll be able to get to that point.
change my diet so that I'm, eating better. I'm going to cut
Yeah. Well,
sugar and things like that out of my diet and so
yeah.
forth, right? So
So,
you need to
so
talk,
let's say eating better, right? Well, whatever you say, well, I need to have one salad a day. Well, that's specific. Better meaning salad, specifically salad. Measurable meaning one salad, right? Not one a week or not one a month. Or you could say I was healthy this month. I ate one salad a month.
yeah,
You know, you didn't. It still qualifies as healthier than no salad a month,
right?
right? But
And
it's not. It probably won't deliver that health that we're looking for,
right,
right? And so you have to clearly define healthy as, okay, I'm going to eat this, right? I'm going to do it this many times, right? And the third one there is achievable. Okay,
right,
so achievable meaning that it is actually possible for you to achieve. It is actually possible for you to accomplish. Some people say, "Well, I want to be a professional golfer." Well, JJ, I'm 52, right? For me to start golfing and become professional, oh, that's going to be probably 10 years or 10, 20 years, but the chances of that is probably not very achievable. Unless I started in my teenage years or something, started below 10 years old or something, 40 hours a week just practicing, right? And so I want to be an NBA basketball player. That's not achievable. Sorry, it's just, I mean, genetics, whatever it is, but it's just not achievable,
right,
right? And so that, people, look, I want to be a billionaire. I'm like, really? That's not achievable for most people because it takes what it takes, you know. But you can make I want to be a lottery ticket winner. Okay, then that means you got to go buy a ticket, right? Otherwise, your only way of winning a lottery ticket is finding a winning ticket, walking out of the grocery store on the ground,
right.
and that's like very unlikely.
Yeah, yeah, I like this concept because I think these are things that everybody that wants to sit down and start writing their goals down, these are the kind of things they need to think about.
Yeah, yeah, and
And so I love it.
then the next one is realistic.
So
Realistic.
basically achievable and realistic, they kind of fall together into the
Yeah,
same exact category, really.
yeah, because
Um,
that's being grounded. That's being grounded in reality,
yeah,
right? Because most people like what's typical today? What's typical is most people have a job, a job. They work 40 hours, and they have this goal of doubling their income, right? I want to make double this year what I made last year. Well, if you're working a job and you've worked that job for the past 10 years and your income has, maybe gone up 10, 20%, hasn't doubled in 10 years, the likelihood that you're going to double your income this year is pretty slim because it hasn't happened in the past 10 years, right? So it's not really realistic, right? Unless something changes, right? Unless you invent something, I don't know, you get hit by a lottery ticket, something like that.
Get a promotion.
Yeah. Even with the promotion, right? Because the issue with a lot of jobs today is it's a trading time for dollars.
Yeah.
And most people, the only way that they make more money is they spend more time, right? Because that's what we're taught, right? And that's how corporate works. You get paid by the hour,
Right.
right? So most people, the only way for most people to make more money is to put more time in, right? And that's just, you only have 24 hours a day. If you end up working, 8 hours a day, that's normal. If you want to double up, you're gonna have to work 16 hours a day. That's gonna kill you. That's gonna put you in the grave early if you work 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's 7 days a week, you know. And so there has to be some kind of realization that there's got to be some equation that's changed, some kind of, because if the only equation in our head is time equals money, then you will trade your time away until you have no time. Right? You might
Like
make
you
a little bit
say,
of money,
go ahead.
but
I'm sorry.
no. Yeah, you might make a little bit of money. And this is why a lot of people, knowing that equation, time equals money. If you ask most people on the street, is that equation true? They'll say, yeah, that's true. Because that's and that's how they were raised. That's how they their belief system. That's why so many people have so much problems with a $4,000 or $5,000 water ionizer because they equate $4,000 or $5,000. That's a month or two worth of like hard work. For what? For water? Like water has no value to me, but I'm going to trade a month or two of hard labor for something that I don't value. That's why people can't get past this roadblock
Right.
until they get diagnosed with diabetes, until their mom dies, or like someone close to them dies. And then their equation shifts to, wow, time, which is health, which is life, right, is more valuable than money. And so now their cost of attaining the machine was not 5,000, it was $5,000 plus a death.
Yeah. So,
Crazy.
Sam, can you elaborate? Because I'm aware of what your backstory is,
Mm,
but a lot of people are not. Maybe some of the people that are going to be watching this as time goes by, they're not.
mm,
But you know, you basically had that kind of thing happen, right? Where
exactly.
you were trading uh, hours for dollars,
Mhm.
and then something happened, and it shifted your priorities. Can you
Exactly.
kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So
How
I
that relates
came.
to this part of things? This
Yeah. I
study
and
goal.
and the last one here is timely, right? Before we move on here, it
Hmm.
is timely. So it's got to be a goal that um, that is achievable within a certain amount of time. Uh, I want to become a NBA basketball player. I don't care if you give me 1,000 years. That's never going to happen with this body. Right? It's just not realistic. It's not achievable. And even if you give me 1,000 years, it ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So,
Unless you
so
can get a new NBA for midgets.
exactly, exactly, right? You know, but that's the thing. So before we move on, yeah, it has to be timely, right? So you have
Hey,
to set,
they've got the WNBA, right? They got the NBA,
yeah,
they got the WNBA. Why not have the little people NBA?
6 foot and under, 6 foot and under NBA.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let's hear a little bit of my backstory. JJ, I came over here as a refugee. 1978. The fall of Saigon was in 75, the Vietnam War. And so we hung out for a couple of years, saw what was going on in the country as the communists took over. We were very well-to-do in Vietnam. My parents had a ice factory and a rice mill. When you're living in a subtropical place, subtropical Asian country, and you own a rice factory and an ice factory, you're pretty well-to-do, right? And so we hung around and we ran that factory, right? Because that was our deal. Hey, the government took over everything, but they don't know how to run an ice factory or a rice factory. And so, yeah, you guys own it, but can we be of service and run this factory for you guys, right? But during that running of that factory, we started to squirrel away, liter by liter of fuel. Because if you're going to escape some kind of country, you're going to need something specific, right? Some specific goals, right? You're going to have to, escape by land or escape by boat or train or whatever, right? And so our option, we were in the fishing village, and so we were gonna build a big boat, right? And be able to have an engine, because we weren't rowing our way out of that country, right? And that engine needed fuel. And so we came over here, and my parents' story is like a James Bond type. So I'm like, wow, you guys had to do all this just to escape communism? And so we came over here and we settled in Spokane. And I grew up over there. My grandma had a stroke when I was a teenager, and that inspired me to go into healthcare, right? And then I graduated from the University of Washington in laboratory medicine, and I worked in the hospital for a couple of years, and just said, this isn't working. It's a revolving door. The same people come into their diabetes clinics every week or every 2 weeks or whatever it is, get their blood tested, and then they get a new prescription of pills and they get sent home, and we see them again the next 2 weeks. This isn't working.
Right.
No one's getting healthy here, right? People are making money, but no one's getting healthy.
Yeah.
So that's when I had this aha moment. I said, I've got to go invent a cure. I've got to go invent a cure. And so that's what led to my departure from the hospital scene to work in pharmaceutical research. As a young, bright-eyed kid, you got dreams of making a big change, or being a part of a big change, something big in the world. And that's when I was so passionate about what I did that I decided I'm going to work for the biggest biotech company in the world. And at that time, that was Amgen. Right? And it's still the biggest biotech company in the world, right? Biotech meaning it's technology, but it's biological technology. You're doing things to the body, and we're coming up with drugs. And so, and I did that career until, and I worked in toxicology, JJ. Toxicology is where you study the side effects of the drugs. So imagine every day I'd go in and they'd give me blood samples and I'd measure, what the effects of the chemical or the drug on blood samples. And I'd see it. And I got this idea. It's like, man, I don't want any of this stuff. Whatever we're making in this factory, I don't want it. I don't want it. So what? That's logical, right?
That's got to be a heck of a conundrum to deal with, where you're making something to make a living, and you wouldn't even want to put it in your own body.
Yeah.
Yet here you are producing it to go into other people's bodies. That's got to be a heck of a conundrum to live with.
And it became more and more of I hate Mondays. I love Fridays. It started out as a passion. This is my I saw my grandma have a stroke, and I don't want anyone else's grandma to have a stroke. So that inspired me to go do something with my life. But over the years, it became like this I hate Mondays type thing. And I thought that was kind of awkward. How could my my childhood dream, evolve into I hate Mondays,
Yeah.
you know. And that's when I went through this midlife crisis, and I said, what am I doing with my life? Is this the pinnacle? I'm just gonna make great money, you know, but feel an emptiness in my soul. 'Cause there's a lot of rich people. There's a lot of people that make great money, but they're not living their passion. They're going through some kind of chase, and they are achieving their goals. In order to be successful, you have to achieve your goals. But one of those goals is to live a life of fulfillment, live a life of purpose, right? If our purpose is just to get up and make money every day, shoot, I should have went to Wall Street, right? But I came to the realization that how you make your money is more important than how much you make, right? And I came to that realization after I fell at age 42. I was longboarding with my kids, and so at 38, I started going through like this midlife crisis. So I didn't go buy a little red convertible. I didn't go get a new wife, start a new family. I didn't do any of that. What I did was I became a ski instructor at age 38. And that process of becoming a ski instructor, I realized how much I didn't know about that sport. I was a pretty good skier, but I think I'm an okay skier. I wouldn't say I'm pretty good, but it just revealed to me that wow, there's a lot here. I mean, there's a lot of really good skiers. Warren Miller, ex ski racer type people that just carve up the mountain. I'm not that caliber, but I can snowboard. I'm a dual sport guy, right? And so that's what when I became a ski instructor, that's when I realized how much I didn't know. And my ego, my ego dropped to like nothing because I realized I didn't know anything in that sport. I had learned that, JJ, you're a skier, right?
Yeah.
So
Love skiing.
yeah. So normally when people ski, uh, they're afraid of going fast down a hill out of control. Beginners,
Yeah.
right? And so they learn to snow plow or something like that, right? They don't learn to use the shape of their turns to slow them down. They don't learn to make that C shape where you hook it up. It's a C, right? You hook the turn up, you turn uphill at the end of your turn,
Mhm.
and the hill slows you down. They don't learn that for like, they don't teach that. They teach the fundamentals. It's the pizza, whatever it is, the wedge turn, right? Right? And you they teach you how to turn, but they don't teach you how to stop, essentially, right? They teach you how to turn. But most people, when they're going down the hill, they're thinking stop, 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 stop. They're not thinking turn. They're thinking stop.
Yeah.
Gas and brake, kind of like how they drive their car, right? But I learned that, oh wow, if I hook my turn up at the end of the turn and go across the hill or maybe slightly up the hill slows me down.
Yeah.
And at that point I had been skiing 25 years, JJ. 25 years. And I was like, wow, why didn't I use that concept? I mean, cave people knew it was harder to roll a rock up a hill than to roll the rock down the hill. I mean, literally Neanderthals knew that.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I had one really big year of skiing. I've had major knee surgeries and that kind of thing. My left knee is bone to bone. I'm a carpet installer by trade. Been doing it for 35 years, and obviously when you've got bad knees, carpet installation, tile setting, hardwood stuff is not all that conducive to good knee health.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I did have one year, it was the last time that I punched a time clock. I did it for Snowbird. I worked in the parking department on Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. And my job was to go out there and wave a flag around and get people to park where they're supposed to park. And then after that, that was like the 3 or 4 hour thing. And then after that, I got to go skiing. And one of my buddies, like his name is Greg Sherry, but his nickname is Henry Leppingwelf. It's kind of funny. One time I had one of his old friends convinced that his real name was Henry Leppingwelf, not Greg Sherry, which was a lot of fun. But he taught me to ski, and he took me into some places that year that just kind of freaked me out.
Mhm.
Like, I can't believe I'm up here at the top of this chute, that's like this. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing here? And the way I made it through all of those situations trying to follow Henry Leppingwell down this freaking mountain was keep turning, keep turning.
Mhm.
Even though my legs are burning, um, keep turning over and over and over and over just keep turning. That's the only way you're going to make it through this. And so it's exactly what you were talking about. You're literally using the mountain to guide your direction and your speed.
Yeah.
And the correlation to that, it seems to me, with what we're discussing as far as goals are concerned, is that you you have to decide what your goals are going to be, and then you have to keep turning. You have to keep working towards them. If I made a like this turn I made wasn't quite so great, I need to make sure that the next one is better, and keep turning and keep fighting and keep battling towards my goal, which is to make it to the bottom of this chute without killing myself,
Mhm.
without busting myself up or whatever. And
Yeah, exactly.
it's interesting how the correlation to life, comes from things like skiing and other sports. And um, that's what I've always loved so much about sports in general is they tend to teach you really good habits about things. And
Mhm.
most everybody I know that's been a good athlete throughout their life, they're also very successful people
Yeah,
because
you have to decode it. You have to figure it out, right? It's kind of like, well, it's like how you nail a hammer. If you don't know how to nail a hammer, your thumb is going to hurt a lot.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And at some point, you figure it out, right? Either that, or either that, or you're gonna have thumbs that are always purple, right?
yeah, that's funny.
Right? You got to figure it out, right? And so when I realized that, oh wow, these instructors, holy, because at that point, my instructor was a senior guy. He was I think he was like 65, 70 years old, and he was a retired Boeing engineer. So his name was Richard Line, 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 right? And so he was telling us about hip replacement surgery this following summer, and how he had to get more efficient because he's had a bad hip. And I think I was like, yeah, I was 38 at the time, and I was like, oh, come on, like, shoot, like, what's this old man gonna teach me? And and we had like a dozen a newbie green instructors, right? Never instructed before. And he said, "Oh, let's go to the top, and I need to see how you guys ski. So I need to know what I'm working with here, right?" And so he said, "We're gonna meet down by that lodge right down there. Okay, you guys see it? It's the red lodge right there. Okay, right? Try to keep up, guys." And in my head, I'm like, "Come on, old man, you just told us your story about hip replacement surgery next summer, right?" And then now you're telling us to keep up. Like, come on, what are you talking about? So and he said, try to keep up, and he takes off, and he's like, one of these super smooth, and you're like, whoa, what is this? Some kind of movie? Like how is this guy able to move? So you could tell when someone's a good skier, You can tell, right? It's just efficient movement, very efficient movement, and he's relaxed. He's not clenched up. Like it's just super efficient. He gets down there, and so we're all chasing him. And then he gets down there, and he's got his little, his little book out. Right, he opens the book, and he's sitting there like making some notes, looking at us as we're coming in, making some notes. I don't know what he's writing, and so and so I get down there, and I wasn't the first one. I was by like the eighth one or something to go get in. And I'm sitting there, and he asked me, "Hey Sam, um, how come you look like you just ran up the hill? I made you slide down the hill to keep up with me. We went downhill. How come you're breathing like you just ran up the hill?" I'm like, "Hang on, I'm still breathing." Right? And he goes, and then he asked me another question, and he said, um, "Sam, which way do you go when you want to go fast?" And I thought about it, and I said, "Oh, well, you go down the hill. The hill will make you go fast, right? Just point it straight down, and you'll go fast. That's not a problem." And he said, "Which way do you go when you want to go slow?" Which way do I go when I want to go slow? What kind of question is that? And like, I put on the brakes. Either I go straight or I put on the brakes, right? Because that's, because I was skiing this whole time with like, go straight and then a little bit hockey stop, right? Not hockey stop, but kind of like start a hockey stop and then make a turn and then go straight and so I was doing gas and brake, gas and brake, gas and brake. And so he asked me this question. He's like, "Which way do you go? Actually, if you go across the hill, do you go slower or do you go faster when you go across the hill, across the fall line,
Mhm.
right?" And I thought about it, like, well, you slow down. Okay, so what happens when you go up the hill, Sam? Meaning you try to ski across and then turn up the hill. What would happen to your speed? Oh, you slow down a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's how I ski, Sam. When I want to go fast, I go downhill. When I want to go slow, I go across or up. And right there, you could literally see my brain exploding. What? How could I have missed that concept of skiing in 25 years? At that point, I've been skiing for 25 years.
Yeah.
And thinking, in the fall, I do wall sits, squats, work on my legs. Yeah, because that's all I was doing, right? I was using my muscle to control the gravity. Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
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 And
That's why
so,
you're breathing so hard.
yeah, because I was working my biggest muscle group, right? And here's this 65, 70-year-old dude with a bad hip, not winded,
Yeah.
because he knew something different. He knew something. And that right there, that my ego, my 38-year-old ego, like, oh, I'm gonna be a ski instructor, because it's cool to be a ski instructor, right? That pretty much dropped to nothing. I was a nobody skier, and I just soaked up everything he said,
Yeah.
you know. And so
How did that affect your skiing?
God, I mean, I got so much better. I got so much more efficient. That most people can only ski one day and they're so sore the next 2 days, right? JJ, I could ski 7 days. I could ski 14 days in a row now,
Yeah.
right? And some this last year I skied this last ski season, I skied like 45 days, right? And some of those are like back to back 3 days in a row. We went to Whistler for a week, and I think I skied 4 days in a row. I wasn't even sore. My kids were like, "Oh my God, my legs!" And I'm like, "Let's go, guys." They're like, "No, we want to sleep in." No, no, let's go. It's powder, fresh, first tracks. Let's go.
Exactly.
They're like, "Come
So,
on, take a break."
you know, how do we bring this back
Yeah.
full circle as to how this skiing story and your basically awakening,
Mm.
you had to go and die to wake up.
Yeah. Well,
How does
you
that
know,
equate to
so
what
I,
we're
so
talking
my
about for
mind,
goal setting?
yeah, so my mind was already opening as to how much I didn't know. Because imagine realizing that Neanderthals knew it was harder to roll a rock up the hill than roll a rock down the hill. And here I was trying to muscle slowing down a ski hill, slowing down my speed using muscle. I was worse than a Neanderthal, right? And so that led to this realization that wow, there's things out here that I don't know. There's things in nature, there's things in life that I don't know. And how much of the universe do I know? If I study for 10,000 years, JJ, how much of the universe am I going to know? Still that much, right? And that
No.
was a big aha moment for me. And so that's why I started thinking out of the box. And then, the going into a coma wasn't the aha moment. The going into coma was the last signal because the next one would have been death. You get red flag warnings. You get, life sends you messages, right? Or close calls, right? As a warning. And so I was like, well, shoot, if I don't get my butt in gear and really live my life and make some big decisions here, like what's the next message that life is going to send me? It's going to be my funeral, right? Because it doesn't get much closer than going into a coma and then coming back out with this awareness, right? And so our awareness is going to shift, but what price are we going to pay? Are we going to pay the shift? Are we going to have that a paradigm shift? Are we going to have that aha moment when the doctor gives us a diagnosis of cancer? For most people, it is. Change will happen, right? Learning will happen. But what price do you pay for your tuition? Right. And that's the thing, right? And that's all we're trying to do. That's why we say change your water, change your life. Change your water is pretty easy to do. Change your life is pretty hard to do, right? But most people, they won't even change their water. They will try everything. They've been diabetic for 10 years. I've tried this pill, I've tried that pill, I've had 10 different doctors, I've gone to 20 different clinics. I've drank, I've switched brands of Diet Cokes, right? Right. Sam, everything I have in my house is diet. Like, yeah, diet means DIE with the T on it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, I I don't drink or eat anything that says low fat or fat free or sugar, no sugar, or anything like that. I like it's kind of crazy too because um I never my favorite party libation was a whiskey and coke. I haven't had a whiskey and coke in 7 years.
That's
And once I came to the realization of just how bad that stuff is for me, I simply couldn't put it in my body anymore.
yeah,
And
that's the normal libation for the ski bums.
yeah, exactly.
I know.
But yeah, it's so timely.
Timely.
Your timing came through a, an accident. What really shifted your timing, your thought process, and all of this goal setting stuff. And
Hmm.
what we would rather do, what I try to help people with is like don't don't have to get in a wreck to realize that you need your brakes on your in your vehicle to work. Um, you know, I don't need to get kicked upside the head to know that I don't want to get kicked upside the head.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's
Exactly.
some people out there that they've got to get kicked upside the head before they realize that they don't want to get kicked upside the head.
Yeah.
So how do we go about the process of helping people realize that they only have so much time? I mean, that's another part about the last part of this goal setting, the timely
Mhm.
part.
Yeah.
We, the one Kevin Shabbat, one of our Condon Water brothers, he put out a post the other day and he said, what is your most valuable asset?
Good time.
And most everybody that was engaged with that post put in time.
Mhm.
And I, of course, put in there, it was like, duh, time. 'Cause it's the only thing you can't replace. You
Exactly.
don't get more time. You only get whatever time you get.
So,
So as far as timely is concerned, I think our timely part of this goal setting is twofold. We've got to we've got to set our timetable, and we've got to understand that time is like the most valuable thing that we have.
mhm.
How do we what are some good ideas for, because I would imagine that this timely part is probably going to be the hardest part for most people. And when it comes to trying to utilize this SMART goal setting system,
Mhm.
the timely part is probably going to be a really difficult thing for people to
Well,
gauge, work on.
yeah, it is, but it's once you get the SMAR part, the beginning for,
Hmm.
the time just kind of falls into place. You have to start with the specific first. You don't start with the time first, because if it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's realistic, you will make the time, right? Right? Because everyone's got 24 hours.
Love that.
Everyone's got 24 hours. And how is it some people have time to go skiing 45 days a year, and one person has no time to go skiing, right? And so the time you make, the time you set free, right? And timely, and how it relates to a goal is, okay, so am I going to achieve this specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic goal in 1 month or in 6 months, right? Because most people don't set a time. I'm going to be rich someday. Well, someday is not time. Someday is a wish.
Yeah.
Someday is not timely, right?
You
I,
know, there's a thing that I think might help people in regards to this. It's a riddle, and it says, "What is always coming but never arrives?"
Tomorrow.
Yes, because once tomorrow gets here, it's not tomorrow, it's today.
Oh, today, right?
And I when I heard that, when I was asked that riddle, I didn't get it. I didn't say it. Um, but when the answer was brought forth, I went, "Oh, no doubt, no
Mhm.
doubt." And that was one of those aha moments of like, no doubt, Jay. That's why it's so important that we learn to set goals, that we um, make them specific and measurable and achievable and realistic and timely. And I, what a perfect subject really for this particular day,
Mhm.
because this particular day, millions of people are out there right now going, what am I going to do? You know, kids, what are you going to do to make 2024 any different than 2023 or
Mhm.
2022 or 2021 or whatever? What are you going to do? Are you going to do anything? Are you going to start something? Are you going to, just continue doing what you're doing and following the definition of insanity, which is to keep doing the same thing you've been doing and expecting to get different results?
Yeah.
Um, so what a great opportunity this is every first Monday of the month to get a chance to meet with you, Sam. I know it's just the two of us in here today talking, but this is being recorded so we can get it out. And
Mhm.
if nobody ever shows up to this meeting with us, I don't care. I mean, I would really love to have 50 or 100 people in this and listening in because the information, the knowledge that you bring to the table is, you can't put a price tag on it. There are literally people out there that charge $1,000 an hour to give this kind of information that you know, you and I are giving out for free.
Mhm.
And
Maybe that's what we gotta do. No,
well,
in the sense, people take it more seriously, right? And
yeah,
so, on this thing here, you know why I wrote this 0 or 5,000 over here, right?
because
Do you know why I wrote that?
you've got to be specific with what you want.
Well, yes, but 0 is the cost of the water to most people. In most people's minds, the value of the water is 0. I mean, they flush their toilet with it, right?
Mhm.
We paid $4,000 or $5,000 for our water machine. So we're the crazy ones. So is the value there 0 or 5,000?
The
And so
value is, I'll tell people what the value is. This is the value of my Kangen water machine.
Mhm.
After 7 years of drinking the water, using the water, um, the value of my Kangen water machine is this. If someone were to offer me, if I could not get another Kangen water machine, there's no amount of money that I would take to get rid of it. I mean, someone could offer me $1 billion and I would not take it if I couldn't get another Kangen water machine.
The
If
last
I
one
could
on the
just go,
planet.
if I could sell mine for $10,000 and yeah, then I'll go buy another one for 5,000. I just doubled my money.
Buy
Sure.
two, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's how much value
Okay.
this machine has. This is the reason why I don't want to go on river trips for 5 days without my Kangen water machine. That's
Exactly.
why I'm constantly in a process of trying to, you know, we'll have to talk about this again sometime on one of our shows, but, and we, you know, when we go on a river trip this year, we're going to demonstrate it out on the river, but I want to be able to use my Kangen water machine, whether I've got hook up to the electrical grid or whether I've got running water or not. I need to be able to have this water. That's how important it is. And I started out in the same spot where most everybody starts out, and that is that, yeah, whatever, man, water's water. This is stupid. This is just flat out stupid. That's what I thought. And what I learned was that I'm the stupid one.
That
That's
was me
what
on
I
the
learned.
ski hill. That was me on the ski hill at 38. The
Yeah.
aha moment is what we're helping people to get to the aha moment. Hey, we're all ignorant because ignorance means you don't know something. Now, unless you're God or Jesus or someone that knows everything, then you're ignorant.
Yeah.
So I admit that I'm ignorant. I'm still ignorant,
Yeah.
right? And people, oh, well, you can't say I'm ignorant. Say, well, dude, I'm saying I'm ignorant. I don't know everything,
Yeah.
right? But if I know certain things, I at least know how to, how to be healthy. That's why I'm not on any pills,
Yeah.
right? And so we have to accept our own ignorance. And that's what I did. I realized how much I didn't know about skiing. Then I became a good skier, right? I didn't know how much, I didn't know how to snowboard. Then I became a snowboard instructor. Right? I didn't know I didn't know anything about water. Then I became a professional water drinker. I'm a professional air breather too, you know?
I love it, dude. Yeah, brother, I'm so grateful that you come in here with me once a month and we get to have these discussions because there's over the last 7 years of my life, nobody has made more of an impact on me than you. And I want to thank you for that. I want to,
Thank you.
from the bottom of my heart, brother, I so value our friendship, um, our ability to get together and talk about things, and it just really makes such a great difference. And the only reason that I know you and I get to have your presence in my life is because I said yes to this machine.
Hmm. Yeah.
This too expensive, too this, that, or the other machine. There ain't no joke about it. Change
Yeah.
your water, change your life. It
Exactly.
ain't no joke. It is dang serious that if one gets themselves a Kangen water machine and plugs into the family, that's why I created the Kong family, is because to me, everybody that has a Kangen water ionizer is part of the Kong family. Whether they like it or not, I don't care whether you like it or not, you're part of the family.
Mhm.
You've got a machine. And all you got to do to not be part of the family is don't use the machine. Don't believe in it. Don't drink it. Don't share it. Don't then it won't change your life. And if you're not out there trying to change other people's lives, then you should really be looking a little bit closer at yourself. That's the way I feel about things.
Yeah.
And I've got opportunities for people that are literally life-changing things. But if people refuse to do them just because they don't need them, it's like my buddy David Marzoli, who owns a Kangen water store up in Montreal.
Mm.
He sent me a messenger message one day and said, "Hey Jay, do you drink coffee?" I said, "Meh, a little bit, mostly in the wintertime when it's cold, or on river trips, but not much." And he said, "Do you know anybody who drinks coffee?" And I said, "Does a fat dog fart?" Of course I know people who drink coffee. And he goes, "We got to talk." And I said, "All right, let's talk." And and once again, because of the fact that I decided to talk, that I decided I didn't know, and I don't care about the fact that I don't really drink much coffee.
Mm.
When I saw what this coffee has the potential to do, I I'm crazy about it. I haven't even tried it yet. It's not even available to drink until the end of February. If not later. It might even take longer for it to get here for us to be able to actually start drinking it. But after learning what it is, I had to be part of it.
Mm.
And the reason why is because it's all about changing other people's lives.
And then,
That's
and
what
no,
it's all
and
about.
and JJ, that's what this project, this Kangen project is so amazing because it's it's life. Try to live your life not consuming anything that has water in it. Just try to eliminate, cut water out of your life. Let's see
Yeah.
how long that goes for.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've got a radio host that I listen to, a sports radio host, and he was a professional football player. Um, and I was listening to him one day on the radio, and he hates water. He hates it.
Mm.
And I reached out to him trying to see if I could get his attention. I was never able to get his attention. I'm still working on him,
Mhm.
but I think the reason he hates water is because he's drinking the wrong water.
Yeah.
You start drinking the right water, you begin to you can't live without it. You have to have it. And so, yeah, brother, we're on a really interesting journey here. We get to start another new year. We
Yeah.
both have our health. I'm 58 years young, and I'm not on a single medication, and I'm so happy about that. I'm proud of that, actually.
Oh yeah.
I'm grateful for that God endowed me with good health, and also the ability to discern what I don't know and
Mm.
be willing to learn. And that's what I always hope for people, is that they will, like, yeah, I don't need this, but other people do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, I don't have diabetes, but I know people who do. And I have a solution for them that doesn't involve pills or poking themselves, or doesn't involve having to take shots or whatever, it's like I have something that can help other people. So I have a moral duty to share it with them.
Yep.
What they do with it is their choice.
Yep.
My job and our job, your job, my job is to share this with people. And anything, the way I look at it is that anything that I have that is good, that meets these three basic requirements when it comes to businesses and things that I'm doing, it's got to have these three things. It's got to be something that everybody needs, that nobody has, that doesn't have any competition. And then the fourth one as well is that it's going to be a life changer,
Mhm.
that it's going to make a huge difference in people's lives. Those are the three things that I'm looking for, because if you have those three things, then you end up with the fourth automatically. And so
Mhm.
anything and everything I do, I get reached out to every single day by people trying to introduce me to this, that, or the other.
Yeah.
I
You know,
always just use the same formula for deciding whether I
you know,
want to
J-
look at it
you
or
know,
not.
yeah, JJ, that timely thing, that last part of the SMART goals,
Mhm.
and people say, oh, that's the hardest part. No, but if you get the other four parts correct, you'll have so much motivation to make it timely.
Right.
If your goal is specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic, you will be motivated to put 30 days on there.
Yeah.
You'll be motivated. So it won't be like someday. Can you imagine doing the S.M.A.R. and then on your T put someday? That's not going to happen,
Yeah.
right? I want to go save my child's life someday. No, those sentences don't happen. No, I want to save my child's life this week
Right.
because it's specific,
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
right?
Well,
And
Sam, I think this was a great way to start 2024
yeah,
off.
thank you for hosting this.
And I'm looking forward to working this thing for this whole year, and just it's been March 17th will be 8 years,
Mhm.
and it's been a heck of a ride. It's really just getting started.
Yeah,
It's been 8 years into the process, and I'm still just getting started.
yeah. No, JJ, just look at this. So we meet once a month, right?
Mhm.
That's only 12 meetings a year.
Yeah,
That's only 12 hours a year.
yeah,
Now we can't make the time, or people can't make the time to make it, then we have the recording,
yeah,
right? And so this is the value of this is the value we're giving to people, right? We're sharing with people. But they got to realize that they got to carve out 8 hours. I mean, they got to carve out 12 hours in a year. Now, if someone doesn't see the worth of this in saving 12 hours in 1 year, or reserving 12 hours in 1 year, then that's going to be on them, right? But our message is there,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But thank you so much, JJ. I appreciate having you in my life, and the things that we talk about, we laugh a lot. The things that we say to each other, right? That's what it's about. It's friendship, it's a relationship. It's the meaning that we give our life, right?
Yeah.
But you want to wrap it up with a prayer, JJ?
Absolutely. Would you like to give the prayer, or you want me to?
I want you to. You always do such a fantastic job.
Absolutely. Our Father in heaven, I want to thank you for for letting me make it through another year, or letting me grow, letting me help other people grow. I want to thank you for giving me this platform, this ability to get out and share my dreams and goals and knowledge, and having people like Sam that that I resonate with so much. I want to thank you once again for bringing Kangen water and correspondingly, Sam and all the other wonderful people that are part of this amazing family that you and Mr. Oshiro created. And what I want to ask for in 2024, Lord, is that you will give me the confidence and the desire to continue to do what I've been doing for the last 7 years, and basically just doing no less for others. Give me the courage to speak out when I need that. I need to speak out. Help me have the courage to speak out. And for those people that hear the message, that they get it, that they have ears to hear and a mind to discern, and a desire to take action on anything that resonates with them. And we can put out all these messages we want, Lord, but if nobody's listening and nobody's interested, we still want to keep doing it. Help us be consistent. Help us stay true to our message. Help us to look at good things that come into our lives so that we can help other people and share those good things with them. Help us to not worry about the results, but more worry about staying consistent. Because if we keep sharing this message of goodness with the world, it's only a matter of time before people continue to, more and more and more people continue to follow us. So, Lord, please help the people that are out there that are begging and pleading for and praying for something different to happen in their life. Help them understand that if they don't change something, then nothing's going to change. And we want to help them. Help those people gravitate towards us so that we can bring them into this incredible family. And all of this, Lord, I ask humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, JJ. Great show. Great show.
Yeah. And thank you, Sam.